You are not broken. You are full. There is a difference. The broken person has something wrong with them. The full person has simply received more than the capacity that was designed for one heart was meant to hold at one time. And this Wednesday morning, the heart is full, not with bad things, with real things, with the weight of the relationships you are carrying, and the concerns you are holding, and the grief you have not had time to process, and the worry that runs alongside everything else, and the ordinary emotional cost of being genuinely present to a life that is genuinely demanding. That is not a character flaw. That is the honest condition of the person who loves and engages and shows up fully, rather than at a managed distance. But the full heart needs what the empty vessel needs: room, space for the overflow to go somewhere, permission to not hold everything simultaneously for a moment. And Wednesday morning, before the second half of the week has added to what the first half already deposited, is the specific opportunity. His word declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 62, verse 8, to trust in him at all times, you people. Pour out your hearts to him, for God is our refuge. Pour out. That is not a restrained spiritual presentation. That is the full release of what has accumulated. The pouring out is the act this prayer is reaching for, not the edited version of the heart's contents. The full pour, the overflow given to the refuge that can receive it. Before we enter this prayer, write in the comments, Lord, I pour out what my heart has been holding. I need you to hold this because I cannot hold all of it alone. Write it as the permission to pour. And know that everyone else reading those comments right now is holding something heavy too. You are not alone in the full heart. This community of Wednesday morning people knows exactly what it costs to carry what you are carrying. Like this video, as an act of choosing this space over the continued holding. Subscribe so we can begin every morning together. This community is here every day, at the place where hearts can pour out before the day asks for more. Come back tomorrow morning. Now let us pour out what has been too full to carry any further. Lord my God and my Father, I come before you on this Wednesday morning, and I do not present the organized version of what I am carrying. I pour it out. The grief that has not been processed, the loss that happened, and the life required the continuing, and the grief went somewhere in the interior to wait for the moment there was time for it, and the moment has not arrived. And so the grief is sitting there, patient and heavy, mixed in with everything else the heart has been holding. I pour it out, the worry about the person I love, the specific middle-of-the-night what-if worry about the child or the parent or the friend, whose situation I cannot fix and whose well-being I carry in a way that does not stop, when the worrying about it would be reasonable to stop. I pour it out. The disappointment, the gap between what I hoped for and what has materialized, the expectation that did not become the reality, the version of the season I was planning for and the version I am actually in, the quiet ongoing disappointment that does not announce itself as grief because it is not the loss of something that existed, but the absence of something that did not. I pour it out. And the ordinary weight of caring, the sustained emotional labor of being present to people who need presence, the conversations that required more than I had, the moments I was in fully when being in them fully cost something I have not had restored, the unremarkable, faithful daily cost of loving the people I love in a way that actually reaches them. I pour that out too, all of it, before you, not organized, just poured. Your word declares in the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7 to cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. All. Not the spiritually presentable portion. All. The grief and the worry and the disappointment and the ordinary weight of caring. All of it cast onto the one who receives it with the specific attention of the God who cares. Not the impersonal void, the caring God. He cares for the heart that is pouring out right now. He cares for what is being poured. He receives it, Lord, I pour out what my heart has been holding. I need you to hold this because I cannot hold all of it alone. And something happens in the pouring. The heart that was so full it was overloading begins to have room. Not because the things poured out cease to be real, because they are now held by something larger than the heart that was trying to hold them. The grief is still real. The worry is still genuine. The disappointment is still present. And they are in different hands now, larger hands, hands that do not strain under the weight that was straining the one heart. The room that is created by the pouring is not emptiness. It is space for what the overloaded heart could not receive, because the overloading was preventing the receiving. Feel that space right now, even small, even the slight loosening that happens when the breath comes in fully. The heart that poured out has more room than the heart that arrived here. Not all the room that was there before the overloading began. More room than it had at the beginning of this prayer. And the room grows as the practice continues, as the receiving fills what the pouring emptied, as the rest of this prayer adds to what the beginning of the prayer began. The grace that was present in the week that the full heart moved past. The small kindness that the carrying was too heavy to notice. The evidence of the faithful God in the situation that the worry was interpreting only as evidence of the problem. These things are now receivable. The pouring created the room. Father, I want to name what emotional overload specifically does to the Wednesday person. It narrows. The overloaded heart cannot see the full width of the day. It sees through the lens of what it is carrying. Every conversation is filtered through the grief or the worry or the disappointment. Every interaction is received by the heart that is already full before the interaction adds to it. The generosity that the heart would naturally offer is less available when the heart is overloaded, because generosity draws from the reserves, and the reserves are occupied with the carrying. The overloaded heart is also fragile. The moment that would normally be navigated with patience becomes the moment that breaks the thin surface. Not because the moment was exceptional, because it arrived when the carrying had already used the patience. The overloaded heart snaps at the ordinary thing because the ordinary thing arrived at the extraordinary internal weight. And then the person feels the shame of the snapping as though they are the problem, when the problem was the load. And the overloaded heart is lonely, not because there are no people around, because the overloading is invisible. The people around the overloaded person see the functioning exterior and do not always see the full interior. The heart that is holding grief and worry and disappointment and the weight of caring is often holding it in the presence of people who do not know it is being held. The loneliness of the full heart that cannot put it down long enough to be seen. This is why the community of the Wednesday morning prayer matters. The comments this morning will be full of people who know exactly what you are holding, because they are holding versions of the same things. The overloading is invisible to most people in most moments, but not here. Here it is named. Here the people who poured out are visible to each other, and the being seen in the fullness by people who know is its own form of what the lonely, overloaded heart was needing. Your word declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 18, that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Close to, specifically close. The overloaded heart that feels lonely in its fullness is not alone with its fullness. God is close, not at a distance observing, close, present, in the Wednesday of the full heart, with the grief and the worry and the disappointment and the weight of the caring. Close to all of it. Specifically, Lord, I pour out what my heart has been holding. I need you to hold this, because I cannot hold all of it alone. Lord, I want to receive something about what the heart can do after the pouring that it could not do before. Breathe. Actually breathe. The full heart holds its breath slightly. Not dramatically, the shallow, slightly held quality of the person who is braced against the weight of what they are carrying. The breath that does not fully expand because the chest is already occupied with the carrying. After the pouring, the breath can come in fully, the chest can expand, the body can follow where the interior has been led. Take a breath right now, a full one, the full expansion, the breath of the person who poured out and received the room. Not the held breath of the carrying, the full breath of the person who has given what was too full to carry to the one who holds without straining. The poured out heart can also be curious again. The overloaded heart is not curious, it is managing. It is monitoring the weight of what it is carrying and monitoring the environment for new weight and managing the gap between what is expected of it and what it currently has available. Curiosity requires interior space. The carrying was using all of it. After the pouring, there is room for curiosity about the person in front of you, the actual person, what they are experiencing, what they are carrying. The genuine interest that the overloaded heart did not have the room to sustain. Your word declares in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 8, that blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. The pure heart, not the perfect heart, the poured out heart, the heart that is not cluttered with the accumulated weight of the unprocessed and the ungiven. The poured out heart has a clarity that the full heart does not have, and the clarity allows the seeing of God in the Wednesday, in the ordinary moment, in the small evidence of the faithful God that the full heart was too occupied to register. See clearly today. The overloaded heart had clouded the view. The poured out heart can see what the Wednesday actually contains alongside what it costs. Lord, I pour out what my heart has been holding. I need you to hold this because I cannot hold all of it alone. Father, I want to ask for something specific for the rest of this Wednesday. The permission to feel what is actually there without immediately managing it into adequacy. The overloaded heart developed its overloading because the feeling was deferred. The grief did not have its moment because the moment was not available. The disappointment did not have its time because the time was being spent on what the life required. The feelings accumulated because the managing of the functioning exterior did not leave room for the interior to be honestly felt. Today, at some point in this Wednesday, give the interior a moment, not the full processing, a moment, where the feeling is felt rather than managed, where the grief is acknowledged as grief rather than redirected into productivity, where the disappointment is received as the genuine disappointment it is, rather than immediately contextualized into the bigger picture. The feeling felt honestly is smaller than the feeling managed indefinitely. The moment given to the genuine interior is the beginning of the processing that the accumulation was preventing. Your word declares in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 4, that there is a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to weep. Today might be that time, not all day, a moment. The honest moment that the managing was preventing, the weeping that is not weakness, but the honest response of the full heart to the real things it has been holding. The time to weep is legitimate. The time to weep is part of the design. And the honest weeping is often the beginning of the movement toward the laughing and the dancing that comes after the honest feeling of what is real. Give the heart its honest moment today, Lord, not as avoidance of the day's requirements, as the care of the interior that makes the rest of the day's requirements possible, and permission to receive that moment without the guilt that the overloaded person often attaches to the not performing. The 5 minutes that are honestly felt are not 5 minutes stolen from the Wednesday. They are the investment that makes the rest of the Wednesday's hours more genuinely present. The heart that received its honest moment is the heart that can be actually there in the afternoon conversation, not partially there, managing the accumulated unfelt things. Actually there. The moment given to the honest interior is the most productive investment of the Wednesday. Father, as this prayer closes, I want to say one more thing to the heart that came here full. You did not arrive here having failed. You arrived having cared. The full heart is the heart that was genuinely in the relationships and the situations and the concerns and the season. The empty heart does not overflow. The full heart does. And the fullness is the evidence of the genuine investment. The grief is evidence of genuine love. The worry is evidence of genuine care. The disappointment is evidence of genuine hope. The weight of the caring is evidence of genuine presence. And the God who receives the poured-out heart receives it with the understanding of one who was in every moment that produced the fullness, who was present when the grief was first felt and the worry first began and the disappointment arrived and the caring accumulated, who knows the full interior from the inside because he was there for the building of it, and who receives the pour with the specific care of the one who was there for what produced it. Your word declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8, that you keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book, collected, recorded, not missed, not overlooked. The full heart's grief and worry and disappointment and caring, every piece of it, collected and recorded by the one who does not miss what the heart produces. The pour went somewhere specific, into the hands of the one who keeps track, who sees, who cares, who holds. That is where the pour went, not into a void, into the most attentive hands available, the hands that keep track, that collect the tears, that hold what was too full for one heart to hold, and something about the holding that matters for the Wednesday person who is about to go back into the second half of the week. The things that were poured out are still real. They did not become unreal in the pouring. The grief is still grief. The worry is still worry. The disappointment is still present. But they are held now by something that does not strain under their weight. And the heart that poured them out can engage the second half of the week without the full weight of all of it, pressing on the interior simultaneously. Not empty. Lighter. The difference between holding everything alone and holding it alongside the one who receives the overflow. That difference is what the Wednesday afternoon will feel, even when it doesn't feel it explicitly. The heart was poured out. The room was created. The second half is entered differently. Lord, I pour out what my heart has been holding. I need you to hold this because I cannot hold all of it alone. That is the declaration this Wednesday begins from. The heart poured. The room was created. The overloading released into the hands that receive without straining, and the Wednesday that opens from this prayer is entered by a heart that has more room than it had before the pouring. Not empty, spacious, breathable, ready to receive what the day actually holds alongside what it costs. Lord, I pour out what my heart has been holding. I need you to hold this because I cannot hold all of it alone. To everyone who prayed with this morning, you are not alone in the full heart. Look at the comments. Others poured out here too, the community of Wednesday morning people who know what it costs to carry what you carry. You are not the only one. And the God who received every one of those pours is holding all of them together, without straining, with the specific care of the one who keeps track. May the Lord receive what your heart poured out this morning with the attending care of the one who collects every tear and records every sorrow. May the room that the pouring created be filled with what the overloading was preventing. May the breath be fuller today than it has been. And may you arrive at Thursday having been seen, truly seen, in the fullness of what you have been carrying by the one who was there for all of it. In Jesus' name, amen.